On this show, we cover some sensitive topics.
Though the obituaries may be outlandish, the people are real.
Names have been changed or omitted in order to respect both the deceased and the survived by.
While death is no laughing matter, some petty last words can provide some pretty entertaining comic relief.
Welcome to Obituary. Welcome back to Obituary. I'm Spencer Henry.
And I'm Madison Reyes.
And welcome to our haunted house.
Trick or treat.
Trick or treat, Geoffs. We're getting closer and closer to All Hallows Eve.
Where the dead can roam free with the living.
Ooh. Speaking of, we are back from the dead this week. Last week, we were feeling rough, but we made it through. This week, we are on track. My tooth is fine. No pain there.
You don't have a tooth there anymore?
No, they took out my teeth and they gave me some dentures made of metal, and they are ready to burst, baby.
Oh my God, I can't wait. Let's light up a cigarette.
Yeah, anytime. But I didn't have any residual pain after the root canal.
That's incredible. I thought you were going to feel it the next few days.
I did too, and nope, fine.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good job, dentist.
And you're feeling good.
Oh my gosh, so much better. I've got to wake up tomorrow at 5 a.m. and that's normally my bedtime. Because we're headed on a trip to Mammoth for a wedding.
Okay, Geoffs, let's do a bet here. I think that Madison is going to not sleep at all tonight. That's my bet. I think she will not sleep at all.
Okay.
And if you agree with me, leave a sun emoji in the comments.
Okay.
And we'll find out next week. And if you think Madison's going to get some good rest tonight.
I think I'm going to get a good solid 3 hours.
Okay.
If you think that, put an alarm clock.
Yeah.
I better see some alarm clocks.
I think we're going to see some suns, babe.
God, I've got a 5-hour drive ahead of me.
I know.
But I am so excited. I'm in the wedding, so I'm excited. And doing the makeup, so I am ready to go.
She is ready to go, packed up and ready to go. And I couldn't handle the fact that Madison was going to be out of town. So I booked a last-minute flight to go to San Francisco tomorrow.
Oh my God.
I couldn't do it. I said because you were so sick last weekend.
On my deathbed.
That we didn't end up even getting to hang out at all.
I know. I know.
And I'm like, another weekend without her. So I actually texted Olivia because we went to this really delicious restaurant in San Francisco called Flour and Water, which is like the best pasta I've ever had, best arancini I've ever had, best pizza. It's like so good. We need to go next time we go up there. But we had it last time I was there a couple weeks ago, and I texted Olivia, and I was like, if I come up this week, can we go to Flour and Water? And that was like my hindering factor.
Oh my God, he's a foodie.
Oh, I won't fly for a man, but I'll fly for a pizza babe.
Yes.
But I was like, here we go. And she was like, yes, but you have to stay for Friday too, though, because it's a Wednesday, by the way, guys. But she's like, you have to stay for Friday too, because Hocus Pocus 2 comes out, and they're having a little premiere party at her house. So.
Oh my God, how fun.
I know. So she's like, we can go for pasta Thursday, but you got to stay till Friday. And I said, sure.
Oh, I
Sign
love
me
it.
up.
What a fun little weekend. I love just the holiday season.
Oh, me too. I'm down for any and everything. I was actually going to do my own Hocus Pocus premiere, but you're unfortunately going to be out of town. And I was like, I had texted a few people like, hey, I think I might have people over on blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, never mind, because you're out of town. And I'm like, if Madison's not there, I don't want to do it.
Oh my God. No, it would have been great. Oh, it's also my 5-year wedding anniversary. Can you believe it?
Wow.
Together almost 10 years, married 5.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I love it.
I love.
Please.
Oh, please.
Oh, while we're on the topic of Halloween and Halloween season, my sister also makes the cutest Halloween advent calendars. And
I bought a bunch of garland.
yes, she makes the best Halloween garlands. So you can want to plug her website. It's yayjubilee.com. YAYJUBILEE.com. And she makes the cutest garlands.
So cute.
Always has the best holiday crafts. It's just the best.
Well, I have ghost garland from her from last year, but then I also got some really cute candy corn garland and my absolute favorite, which was tombstone garland.
Yes.
Not tombstone pizza.
Tombstone garland.
Tombstone.
I bought a few garlands this year as well. And I love them because I feel like it's the easiest way to just like decorate without too much clutter. Support your local crafters. We love it.
We absolutely do. They're just so cute.
They are so cute. What else has gone on this week? Well, you babysat Hot Dog for me yesterday, which is so nice of you.
I have got to tell you, I could not leave Hot Dog and Desi alone together. They were
in love,
all over each other. Usually she can't stand him. They were just attached at the hip.
I love it. They're just becoming buddies over there.
I know. She loves Doris, and she and Doris like have known each other for so long, but Desi's just like high puppy energy and just kind of in her face all the time. But
he like follows her around doting. Doris is very much the ADHD child. Like Doris is just constantly like, she doesn't stop. She's running around the entire, like there's no chill in Doris. She like is hopping, she's chasing, barking, doing whatever. She's just like in her own little world all the time. But like when they come over to play, Desi is always just by Hot Dog's side, like barking at her, trying to get her to look at him. And Hot Dog's just like usually very coy, like don't even look at me. But now she's in a very loving mood right now.
We had to watch her because her dad was at the spa all day.
Oh, yeah. Dad got a makeover. Okay, so I've been on this hair journey. I've been growing out my hair for a little over a year now. I always am posting on my stories, like asking, should I cut it? Should I not cut it? What do I do? Because like some days I want to shave my head. Some days I'm just like, nah, I'll keep it going. And my friend Daniel reached out and was like giving me hair color ideas. And he was like, I'll do it. I want to color your hair. So I was like, okay. Because he's like, I've shown you his Instagram before. Like he is just like amazing colorist here in LA. He owns a salon called Onyx on Madison in Pasadena, which we love. Love Pasadena too. His Instagram is at Daniel M Beauty. Just the fucking best.
Your hair looks so good.
Thank you.
It looks really pretty.
Did all kinds of things, made it a little darker in some areas, added some low lights, added some balayage.
And I love the way he like put some wave in it or like curled it. I just think it's amazing.
Wow. I know. I felt like a hair model afterwards. Well, because he made me take like pictures and stuff and videos after, and I'm like, oh yes.
It looks great.
I feel like that's all I've really been up to. I'm still watching The Patient, and I don't know if you watched the most recent episode yet, but it's fucking good. It's getting good.
No, this weekend we watched Dahmer.
I haven't seen it yet.
I get it's, you know, it's controversial talk, like platforming a serial killer, but they, in my opinion, did a really good job of explaining the victim sides, some of the survivor sides, how the cops fucking ignored a lot. And
well, that's like one of the biggest things about that story is just like
how corrupt it. Well, yeah, it's just the whole thing.
And Evan Peters is super talented. I haven't watched it yet.
And they're doing The Watcher. Ryan Murphy is doing The Watcher.
I'm really excited about The Watcher.
You did an episode on that.
Okay. Somewhat recently, I feel like. Maybe last year. That's a really crazy story, and I'm excited for that one because I think Jennifer Coolidge is going to be in it.
Ooh.
As like the real estate agent.
Oh, I see her as a real estate agent. Yes.
Really excited for American Horror Story to come back. Dahmer.
New York.
I don't know. I feel like sometimes like, when something new like Ted Bundy or Jeffrey Dahmer comes out, I'm usually just like apprehensive because I'm like, how are you going to tell a different, I don't know. It always brings up that conversation in true crime where like, it's like, why are you talking about this? Is it for the shock factor or is it to spread awareness or help the victims, but I read
Yeah.
that they didn't contact the victims' families for that.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always like a morality thing. I feel like so much of
know.
like what we consume is like morality or brings in morals now. But I'm like, of course people are going to talk about it. Of course people are going to watch shows that are being put out. It's like hard to know because sometimes I'll watch something and I'm like, oh, that was really crazy. That was really interesting. And then you'll see something like they exploited the blah, blah, blah. And it's like, oh, I didn't think of that when I was watching it or whatever. But
I know. I've always known about the case, but I've never you just know and I hate to say it like this, but he's like a classic serial killer, right? You think of these very famous serial killers, you think of him. I didn't know how fucked up it was, how...
Oh, he's sick.
Absolutely sick. He got away with this stuff for so long. How the police brought a victim back to his house because he convinced them that he was his friend or his boyfriend or whatever.
It's fucked.
It's just
I did an episode on him way back in the day, so it's probably awful, honestly. It's just because older episodes, it's was also kind of around the time true crime was really starting to boom or whatever, and it was more I was sharing stories because I was like, this is so unbelievable, but then I realized I'm like, okay, I'm sharing this because it's unbelievable, whereas now I feel like a lot of the stuff I talk about on Cult Leader is more towards okay, is this gonna I try to be more intentional, I guess, is this gonna bring awareness to something? Is this exploiting people or what?
Right.
I don't know. I mean, it's all interesting. And
it's an interesting discussion.
Well, and I think from this show, and I think I talked about this with Amanda Knox, where it was the fascination with true crime has always been there. The fascination with death has always been there. People, and I think that's why I brought that up when I did an episode with her, because I was on my other show, Obituary, we're talking about all these public executions and stuff. And that was a thing. People were there. People watched. People were in the know when it came to this kind of stuff. And I feel there's always been a fascination around it. That's when people are oh, well, true crime now, but it's no, true crime's been a thing.
It's always we're all very curious. It's fucked. And I mean, I think there's definitely different ways to handle it.
When it's a Netflix or a Hulu, though, I'm how did you not get the how did you not get the family? You have the contacts.
No,
you know,
that is true. I don't know if, and guys, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know if there's controversy with Ryan Murphy, but I feel everything he's touched has been fucking good. So I was oh, okay, I want to watch this. I wouldn't have normally probably watched a
but because it was
series.
Evan Peters and it's Ryan Murphy,
right? I'm okay, American Horror Story,
Oh. Well, it also brings to the question, just truly anything that is put out content wise is can be up for discussion on moralities, but they're doing. I'm hearing a lot of backlash about the new Marilyn Monroe movie as well.
So am I, about how it's just how fucked up everything was.
Well, and I guess the director or whatever, the creator, did an interview and they asked well, don't you want to talk about the advances that Marilyn Monroe made, the strides she made in certain areas? And I guess the director was no, I'm doing a story about this is a woman who killed herself and blah, blah, blah. And I'm
oh,
that to me is exploitative. I'm you're not even telling the story at that point. You're coming at it with this viewpoint that is so narrow and Marilyn Monroe was someone who was so
much more than just a beautiful face.
Well, she was failed by society. She was failed by the government. She was failed by everyone around her. So it's just, I don't know.
I know.
And this is our controversial hot takes episode.
Oh
Everyone's can you shut the fuck up?
I know.
Get to your confidence. Okay. Oh my God.
Let's
start the show.
Let's start the show. I have a game for us.
Oh, perfect.
Okay, so this has to do with my coffin spinner, but we're going to have a little quiz. I want to quiz you on how well you know about bones.
Probably not much.
Okay, we'll see. All right, what's the largest bone in the human body?
The femur.
The femur, your thigh bone. Good job. When a forensic expert examines a skeleton, they can tell A, your age, B, your gender, C, certain causes of death, D, all of the above.
I would go D.
All?
Yeah.
You're right. They can determine how old you are, where you lived, what your gender, everything. How many bones does an adult body have?
216.
Oh, you're so close. 206.
Okay. I knew there was a 6 in there.
How many bones does a baby have?
Don't they have more because they lose some?
They don't lose them, they fuse.
Okay.
So how many?
Ooh, I don't know. 274?
300.
Okay.
Isn't that crazy
Yeah.
how many bones fuse?
I'm also surprised at how many I'm getting right, honestly, because I know nothing when it comes to anatomy. Or I guess I know a little more than I thought.
I think you do. What is the most common bone break?
Common bone break.
Is it your skull? Is it your hip? Is it your ankle? Or is it your wrist, hand, and fingers?
I would say wrist, hand, and fingers.
You're correct.
Oh my God. A biologist, Spencer Henry, my God.
Oh my God. Okay, which of the following lifestyle habits affects bone health? Smoking, exercise, excessive alcohol consumption, all of the above.
All of the above.
Yes, sir. Look at you. And lastly, what is osteopenia?
Oh, is it multiple choice?
Yes. Is it A, the study of bone health, B, a type of bone fracture, C, a female bone disease, or D, low bone mass?
C?
A female bone disease? You are incorrect.
Oh no. I was thinking osteoporosis. I don't know why, but then I was also, oh, you know what? I was mixing it up with the word estrogen.
Oh, okay,
Uh-huh.
okay. And this quiz is from WebMD. It says osteopenia is a term used for low bone mass that isn't low enough to be osteoporosis.
Okay, so there's an osteoporosis connection.
Okay.
Interesting.
Oh
So
my
I got like
God,
a what?
are
Like
you
a
sexist?
99%?
Probably an 80% out of like 5 questions.
Okay, all right. Not
Okay.
bad, not bad.
Love
Fun little
love
game.
it. We turned it around. Okay, but I also have a fucking wild article from a Geoff.
Let's hear it.
All right. So this Geoff wrote into me and said, a few weeks ago, my mom went into work only to find out that a coworker on the night shift passed away in the bathroom. And remember we talked about toilet deaths.
Ooh, oh no.
Today, I found the attached headline about a woman dying at her work in the bathroom. It got me thinking, how common are toilet deaths? Well, you got to go listen to our episode, baby.
Yeah.
Love, Susie. And so this article is from NBC New York. It says, worker was dead in public department store bathroom for 4 days before her body was found.
Oh my God.
A 63-year-old worker died in the public bathroom of a South Carolina department store, but her body was not discovered for 4 days. Bessie Derman, who worked for an outside company that cleans the Belk store at Columbiana Center in Columbia, was found dead Monday, investigators said. Her cleaning cart was outside the restroom.
Oh.
She was last seen on Thursday at work, and then her body was found shortly after her family filed a missing persons report.
Oh, that is heartbreaking.
There are no signs of drugs or any foul play. So really fucking sad.
Sad. How 4 days did nobody notice?
How did nobody know? I know. It wasn't a holiday or anything.
Very
This just
weird.
happened September 19th.
Jeez.
I know.
Sad. Rest in peace, Bessie.
I know.
God, well, way to bring it down.
Brought it back down. I'm so sorry.
I was wanting wild, and then now I'm just sad.
Oh.
Well, let's move on to a different emotion. Let's talk about some anger, baby, because we got some assholes.
Okay, give it to me.
This one says, am I the asshole for kicking out my mother-in-law after she made fun of my deceased mother? I, 28-year-old male, have a very entitled mother-in-law, 59-year-old female. She expects everything to be her way or no way. Bad mother-in-laws?
Oh my God.
Nightmare.
I was blessed with such a good one. I could not imagine, though.
Ugh.
I've heard horror stories.
She's never exactly liked me because of the way I defended myself from her rude comments. My wife, 27-year-old female, always defended her mother's actions, but I try most of the time to not let it bother me. Now, here's the context to the title. I am a transgender male. My mother-in-law was never fond of her daughter dating a trans male like me, but she learned, in her words, to deal with it.
Oh, fuck you
Already hate her.
Yeah.
She's made little snark comments about it a few times, but I just pushed it off. 2 days ago, my wife hosted a dinner for her whole family. Everything seemed to be going well until my mother-in-law started talking about wanting grandchildren. Of course, everyone in the family knew that me and my wife couldn't conceive biologically, but my mother-in-law kept on ranting about it the whole dinner.
Kick her out.
I didn't really care about the comments. I learned not to care about what my mother-in-law says about me, but it wasn't until she said, maybe if his mom gave birth to a biological son, instead of turning him into a boy, my daughter would have given me some grandchildren.
Are you fucking kidding me? I'm boiled, bitch.
I didn't care about what she said about me, but my mother was a sensitive topic to me, and having my mother-in-law disrespect her like that was a no-go to me. I told my mother-in-law to get the hell out of my house. My mother-in-law was a bit shocked by my reaction, but I didn't care. My mother-in-law tried to argue, but I didn't let her speak. I just told her to get out. My mother-in-law started to cry and make a scene, but I managed to get her out, and the dinner ended right after. After all the guests left, my wife started to yell at me about the way I treated her mother. I tried to justify my actions about her bringing up my mother, but she ended the argument by saying that I needed to apologize to her mother. I refused, and now my wife is refusing to talk to me. Oh, fuck your wife for that, too. I'm now starting to wonder if I was really in the wrong in this situation. Should I apologize to my mother-in-law? Absolutely not.
And while you're at it, go divorce your wife.
Yeah.
Because how dare they?
Oh, your wife is brainwashed. She needs to have your back.
That's some shit you can't come back from.
And you're so chill because it sounds like the person who wrote this is constantly letting little comments and snide remarks go.
Right.
Which is like, I mean, I don't know. When you have a partner or spouse, you expect that, I mean, not things that are like sexist or transphobic or anything like that, but you expect that like little annoying comments when it comes to politics or this or that,
Or
you
a
might brush it off.
generational thing, or, you know, like, okay, whatever. But wow.
Fuck your mother-in-law. She can go fuck herself.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone voted that this person wasn't the asshole. And your wife should have your fucking back for that. So rude because...
What were the other people at the party doing? Why weren't they saying anything? It's so shocking how hateful it is. But wow.
Rude.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry you have to deal with that. Hopefully your wife comes to her senses. But if not, I would be like, fuck off.
Fuck off. And you know what? Stop talking about babies, whether you are gay, straight, cisgender, transgender, what the fuck ever. Stop asking people about
so inappropriate.
babies.
It's so inappropriate.
So
and I hope it's something that dies out with this generation of like, when are you guys going to have... So many people I know don't fucking want children right now because they're like, I don't want to bring them into this world.
No.
This shithole. Other people just want to wait longer. Some people, it's just none of your fucking business. Some people have trouble. Some people can't conceive. It's fuck you. Why are you asking?
Yeah.
It's none of your business.
It's none of your business.
Really hope you give me grandbabies soon.
Oh, please.
Go fuck yourself.
God.
There's so many people listening right now.
Are you going to pay for them? Are you going to take care of them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I know there's a lot of people right now who are just like, yes, please tell my fucking mother-in-law or whoever to stop asking.
God.
Crazy. So Madison, when are you going to have kids? Don't.
I have them.
I'm like the anti. I'm like, hey, so I really like that you just don't have kids. Please don't have them.
No, truly. I mean, I definitely want them. I can wait, though.
Yeah.
I was talking to my husband about this because he's on the same page as I am with this. I'm like, well, we have 4-legged kids that mean the world to us. So we like don't have that longing for them right now. But I was like, if I could like pause that part of my body for another like 5 years, then I would be happy.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll freeze my eggs. Who knows?
Oh.
Who knows if I even have any? I don't know. I haven't checked.
Yeah, I'm not looking.
So
this next one is actually from a Geoff, and they send us an email and says, a Geoff needs guidance. Am I the asshole?
We're here for you.
We're here for you, Geoff. Hey, Spencer, Madison, Hot Dog, Desi, and Doris. This may be a bit silly, but as I'm terrified of the wild west of the internet, which is Reddit, I need to know if I'm the asshole. I trust your judgment. I apologize for the length for real because I think this is a long one. A friend of mine got married recently, and though we've only been friends for a year or so, we've known each other and been friendly since high school. She's just a super cool lady, and I was excited when she asked my husband and I to be at her small wedding. We moved back to my home city from Chicago almost 2 years ago for my husband's job, and it's been tough making friends as an adult, so reasonably I was excited. My husband is not a fan of crowds, weddings, or events in general, but he dresses up and shows out when he knows it's important to me.
Ooh.
We always dress to the nines when applicable, so of course he's in a full-fitted black suit and I'm in a black silk dress. We both coordinate our bright red accessories and we look great. This will matter. Love it.
Okay.
The wedding is in a famously beautiful small town about an hour away from the city we all live in. My husband is nervous on the drive there, reminding me that he doesn't like crowds, and the ceremony has about 40 to 60 people, including the bridal and groomsmen parties. That is a small wedding. And my husband and I sit in one of the further back rows, so as we're not immediate family or have a huge history with the couple. Once the ceremony's over, everyone migrated to this barn on the property for a cocktail hour, as my husband and I don't drink. Sober babe over here. Hey, Spencer. Love it. So we linger outside the barn where a ton of other guests are too. My husband and I are taking photos, pounding cucumber water. That's me at a wedding. Hugging, cute wedding stuff. The groom's father approaches my husband and asks if he's part of the party. We thought of the bridal/groom party. And my husband said, no, we're at table 3. And the gentleman asked my husband to come look at something with him. My husband is from southern India and self-describes himself as a mocha Jason Momoa. He's not wrong. Yeah, sounds hot. We want to see. So when the man asked him to help move tables, I thought it was because he's so big and strong. No.
Oh my God. Okay.
The man asked my husband to clean up a wine spill.
What?
He thought he was part of the staff. The staff was not dressed like my husband. We were clearly at the ceremony. He let him know we were at table 3, and we were dressed like some old Hollywood starlets. We were walking around hugging and kissing and chatting with other guests. My husband was the only person of color at this event.
What?
Something we noticed immediately when we got there. Once my husband realized what happened, he walked over and told me, and I was going to respectfully inform the groom's father that he is not staff and is in fact a guest, my husband, and at one of the head tables, bitch, they wrote in parentheses.
Yeah.
I love it. My husband encouraged me not to, and I can't find him anyways. My husband is visibly so uncomfortable.
Yeah, because he's passing trade.
God, my husband is visibly so uncomfortable, so I asked if he wants to find our seats, and he said he's going to stay outside, and I said, fuck it, let's leave. There's no sense in us being in a place that clearly makes my husband feel unsafe and uncomfortable. We find a path that will keep us out of sight, so we quietly sneak out, but as we're sneaking behind a cabin, the bride sees me and calls out my name. I run over and she asks if we're leaving, and panicked, I told her that my grandmother was sick and we had to go, but that the ceremony was beautiful, that I cried, I really did, and just how absolutely lovely she was. Kept it focused on her.
Oh, wow. Good for you. I mean, that's big of you.
Yeah, but also, I mean, it wasn't the bride saying,
right.
You know. Her groom comes and says hi. They're absolutely wonderful. There was no sense in telling them what happened on their wedding day, a tale for another time. And that is the classy move, and that's the way to do it. On the drive back, we stopped by my parents who live nearby, as we're all super tight. We catch them up on what happened, and my parents were almost appalled. My dad said he would have stayed to show the racist fuck, hey, I belong here. And my mom was disappointed in me for lying to my friend about why we left. I thought so long and hard about this, and I keep thinking if our future kids ever hear this story, they'll be proud that we left. But I'm selfishly so sad that I missed the rest of the reception, and I don't know if it's worth it to even tell her what happened. I feel a lot of guilt for lying to her, but was I supposed to put a damper on her wedding day? And should we have stayed, even though my husband felt unsafe and uncomfortable? I feel like I did the right thing, but I just don't know, and I want to tell her what happened when we hang out in the next few weeks. But would that insert a bad memory into her wedding day? Aside from all that, thank you for the show and everything you do. I have so many paranormal stories to write in about, as my family is full of pagans, palm readers, and mediums. And once I find out how to eloquently write them out, I will. You both have transformed my view on death in a time with a lot of personal, communal, and global grief. The work you do is so important. Oh, and aside from the important stuff, you make me laugh so hard my gut aches. That's what's important to us. Actually, arguably more important, yeah. Give the dogs so many scratches and kisses from us. Attach our photos of our rescue boys, Duke and Zeus. Look at them.
Oh my
Duke
God.
is the bumpy dude. Love y'all from the bottom of my heart, Maddie.
Oh, love your name.
OG Geoff, baby.
Oh, Maddie. Okay.
Tell me what you think and I'll tell you what I think.
It is complicated. I think that you did the right thing protecting your husband, obviously. Even if he wasn't your husband, protecting someone against a racist, fucking ignorant idiot.
Mm-hmm. I agree. And listen, I think that, like, if I was in that position, I mean, you and I have both been in interracial relationships before, and I would always protect my partner in any situation. I'd be like, anytime any racism or uncomfortability came up, it's like, bye, let's fucking dip out. I'm with you. I would have done the same thing. If we were in your shoes, we would have done the same thing. We would have dipped the fuck out of there and been like, bye, cool. But I also fully would have been the type to, like, if the bride and groom came over and were like, oh, are you leaving the wedding? It's like, I'm not gonna be like, well, your dad, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. If you want to call him out, call him out. But I personally am like, let them have their day. And then it's important to me, though, so I am gonna bring it up.
Yeah, I would bring it up.
It's just a matter of when.
Right.
And I absolutely think in a couple weeks when you see her, you should be like, hey, I just want to be honest and get this off my chest. This is what happened. Because chances are your friend's going to be like, what the fuck?
Maybe
like,
it's a teachable moment for her dad.
Yeah.
Like, you don't fucking just assume something. And, oh, God.
I also don't think, I mean, like, I get the dad, like, oh, I would have stayed and been like, fuck you. But it's like, no, if I'm uncomfortable somewhere or I feel like in any way, shape, or form disrespected, I'm not going to stay.
Moving yourself. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Your husband is honestly probably used to it. And, like, this isn't his first occurrence with racism, probably, like his first run-in with racism. But it's like, you shouldn't have to feel like, oh no, it's fine.
No.
Like, he should feel all the feelings that he's feeling.
Yeah.
And you should leave.
Well, because also then if you think about it, like, staying, does that show like, oh, it's okay to do these kinds of things and just...
Right. God.
Or he should have just socked the dad in the face.
I mean, truly.
Wouldn't have judged him for that either, but congrats on your sobriety. I think you guys handled it perfectly.
I know. You both sound like awesome people, and I want to hear about the paranormal experiences
Yes,
too.
please write in. Sorry if we're unhelpful. We're just corroborating you. We're like, yeah, we would have done exactly what you would have done, and I definitely bring it up to the friend. Because, yeah, beneficial, could be a teachable moment.
Yeah. Well, I am up first this week. Do you have a side bitch for us?
I do. I have Mr. John Barclay Kirby, November 11th, 1962 to July 14th, 2022. On July 14th of 2022, John Kirby, in his usual selfish fashion, annoyed and distressed his friends and loved ones by departing this dimension to headline a concert in the stratosphere. Although Smith, Cobain, Cornell, and Bowie are delighted to jam with him, his Earth fam is struggling to cope. Meredith, Lily, Rachel, Dan, Michael, Reggie, Teresa, and countless others will eternally long for his poetic voice, uncanny musical vision, artistic sensibility, and intense ability to love and see the very best in people. Yet they celebrate his long-awaited release from earthly concerns and know that he is free to devote himself exclusively to being John Kirby. Memorialize him by raising a glass, banging a drum, or dancing naked in the wind. He'll love you regardless.
Oh, I love that. Short and sweet and funny.
I loved it.
Clever.
Love it. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, we'll hear what had Miss Madison mysterized, spinning in her coffin. We'll be right back. And we're back. What had you spinning in your coffin this week, girly?
Oh my gosh, Madison Mr. Eyes. Call me Madison Mr. Bones, because we're going to talk about skeleton.
Ooh, spooky, scary skeleton. Yeah.
Okay, so remember a few weeks ago I read an article on the show about how students at a school gave a proper burial to a medical skeleton that was in their classroom?
I do, I recall.
And then we talked about Mr. Bones.
Yes.
The Keel skeleton.
We told that story about the Keel skeleton.
Yes. So I decided to do a deeper dive into the classroom skeleton, and I stumbled upon a really fucked up, unethical history. Surprise, surprise. The beginnings are very similar to those of body snatching and grave robbing. I did a whole episode on that way back. I think it was like episode 15. And then after hearing your episode last week about teeth It kind of goes with that. But a little refresher, the need for skeletons to study dates back centuries ago, but in the 1500s is when it really kind of started to take flight. And then in the 17th century, osteology, which is the study of bones, was a pretty new science that was up and coming. And then in the 1800s, medicine was on the rise. So medical schools were in need of real bodies to be able to dissect and advance us medically, but that whole history is fucked up. So they hired resurrectionists to get them bodies, and they were given 4 executed bodies of criminals a year in some places.
God, it all ties in.
It does. It all ties in. They really used the whole body. They dissected it, used the teeth, now the bones. Many bodies in the 1800s were those of unclaimed people, enemy bodies on battlefields, like we talked about, Waterloo.
With the teeth.
Many times grave robbers were male, but they would have female accomplices who would actually go and attend a funeral and pretend that they knew the deceased and then would give the grave robber the scoop.
Oh my, give us a movie on that.
I
Like
know.
a spy almost.
I know. Okay, but wait, this doesn't have to do with skeletons, but have we talked about coffin torpedoes on this show?
No, not yet.
Okay, well, I just have to tell you guys what a coffin torpedo is. People were so afraid of, having their graves robbed that the one thing that they did was they used a coffin torpedo to defer the grave robbing. A man named Philip K. Clover, an artist from Ohio, invented one in 1878. And it was kind of like a little shotgun that was placed inside the lid of a coffin. And when the lid was opened, it would blast you with lead beads.
Good.
Another man named Thomas Howell had another patented torpedo design that worked like a landmine. I guess if a grave robber touched the wiring, it would blow. And it actually worked. There's an account in 1881 of a potential grave robbing that had a coffin torpedo in it, and they opened the coffin, killed one of the grave robbers, broke the other grave robber's leg.
Karma, babe.
Karma, I'm sorry.
This was a case closed, and you're trying to open it. You're trying to open it up.
Yeah.
And you're going to get torpedoed, bitch.
I don't know if you want to take me to a medical school. I don't know if you want to take my teeth. I don't know if you want to make me a hanging skeleton. It's not going to happen.
You know what I would want? I would want an apparatus in there that shot me upright.
Yes.
Imagine.
And it says who goes there?
Ow! Oh no! What did the torpedo happen?
Oh my God, the torpedoes went off.
Oh my God, don't do it.
In a response to body snatching and grave robbing also, there was the Anatomy Act that was passed in 1832 in the UK that gave doctors, medical students, and anatomy teachers the freedom to dissect donated bodies. But again, we know a donated body. Fucking grave robber Carl from down the street is probably going to donate someone he just dug up. So it's a whole fucked up thing. Anyway.
They're getting all these skeletons without teeth. They probably took out all anything valuable.
I think to sell it, they'd probably have to have teeth. Well, we'll get into it actually. So human bones, skulls, and cadavers were in super high demand, not just for medical schools, but also for art schools, which I never even thought about because both require you to study human anatomy.
Sure.
Medical schools were even later on in the 1900s required students to purchase a box of bones to study with. It had to be a half skeleton because normally a skeleton kind of mimics the other side. So you really only needed a half skeleton.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Down the middle.
Sure. You only need half.
I know. And we'll get into one of the companies that really was at the forefront of the skeleton trade.
Ooh, that's a good name.
The skeleton trade. Adam Rowley was the company in 1926 from their website actually talked about the half skeleton bone box that medical students needed, saying natural bone half sets were required by medical students so that they could closely examine the markings and surface anatomy of individual bones. Half sets were supplied in wooden boxes, handmade by Frederick Sale. Each would be stenciled with the Adam Rowley logo, and a marketing label would be fixed to the lid. A half set comprised an articulated skull with a horizontal section, complete vertebral column, sacrum and coccyx, half sternum, a hand and in a foot, ribs, scapula, clavicle, humerus, radius, ulna, femur, patella, tibia, and fibula of one complete side. So they needed a very healthy supply of human bones during this time.
Sure.
Why not just use fake ones? Well, they tried with like paper mache, and there would be some skeletons that were made out of paper mache, but really having human bones, you could see every little, marking and divot and everything that could be studied.
Well, and I mean, if someone had bone cancer or something, there's so many things. Like we talked about earlier when you gave the test that like bones can tell you about someone.
Totally. So that was really important. And then also plastic wasn't invented until like 1905 or 1906. So to be able to make a plastic one that was good enough for someone to study, they did not have the proper technology to do that. So real bones it was. Most of the medical skeletons that we know of came from Calcutta, India, but many of them also came from China and Russia, but like a huge portion of them came from India. Now I believe it's called Kolkata. It was an extremely underimpoverished area at the time. And so that business of transporting human bones to and from the United States and the UK was like a big thing. They could get a lot of money for it. Instead of someone having a proper burial, they were most likely stolen and sold. It was a big booming business that Adam Rowley, who I talked about, they were like at the forefront of that. The company partnered with a company called Sankar Sen of Reknas in Calcutta to acquire full real skeletons, and they continued absolutely dominating until India made it illegal to export skeletons in 1985.
Okay.
During that time, people knew that bones were in such high demand that they would sell their own bones.
Oh, fuck.
If there's an amputation or, something like that, okay, you can sell the bones. But you can also, if you're like seriously ill and on the verge of death, you could get money in advance for your body with the promise of your skeleton in return and give that money to your family. We know most of the medical skeletons are from real people with probably no identity anymore and sold under fucked up circumstances, right? But how do you make it a skeleton? How do you take a human body and make it into this beautiful, polished, clean thing that hangs in a classroom?
You tell me, honey.
One famous skeleton preparer, Andreas Vesalius, in 1543, he was an anatomist, and in Switzerland, there was a criminal that he publicly dissected, and he took his bones and prepared them and then donated the felon's full skeleton to the University of Basel.
How did they prepare them?
We're going to get into it. Andreas wrote a book called De Humani Corporis Fabrica, which gave full instructions on how to prepare a body and prepare bones for display. Atlas Obscura wrote about it and broke it down, saying, quote, "Here are some instructions for preparing human bones for display circa 1543. Step 1, acquire a corpse. No hints about where or how. You're on your own there. Step 2, cut away as much flesh as you can. Watch the joints and ligaments. You need those intact." Which I didn't fucking know that.
No.
Step 3, acquire a body-length box with holes in the walls. Place the bones inside and cover with quicklime, used for centuries in agriculture, warfare, and cemeteries, and now available online.
And by serial killers.
Oh yeah. Sprinkle with water and wait a week. Presumably, leave the box someplace where no one will accidentally open it. Step 4, locate a stream or other body of water in which to place the box. Give it a week to allow the stream to wash away the now loose and decaying flesh. Step 5, clean off any leftover flesh and leave the skeleton to dry in the sun. The ligaments should keep the bones together. Although, according to that article, quote, he preferred a different strategy for revealing human skeletal anatomy. First, boil the body in a capacious cauldron, then skim away the fat and clean the boiled flesh from the bones. That way, you could actually see the joints instead of leaving them hidden behind blackened ligaments. So basically, boil that bad boy.
Sure.
But then in the 1800s and 1900s, medical professionals wanted extremely bright white, cleaned bones, and Andreas's way would have left them brown and probably smelling.
No one wants smelly bones.
I did not know that bones would smell.
Well, yeah, think of bone marrow and everything in there.
So I guess you could also tell if a bone was boiled, and that meant it was less valuable and like really dry and not easy to polish. Many times bones were left in bleach also for long periods of time to take care of the color.
Okay.
Okay.
Makes sense.
A quote from Listverse says, preparing bones for display skeletons was a tedious and gruesome process in France in 1892. Beginning with the corpse, a scalpel was used to remove all the fat, muscle, and tissues from the bones. After all the meat was cleaned off, the bones were boiled. During this process, the bones had to be carefully watched to ensure that they were not overboiled and turned rough. Next, the bones were treated in the sun. This bleached the bones white and caused the remaining grease inside the bones to leak out. Finally, the bones were given their brightness with ether and benzene, as well as other secret chemicals. The chemical
Secrets.
Yeah.
It's in and out.
Secret sauce. The chemical treatment is what set the French bones apart from bones prepared in other countries. They were said to never turn yellow, and the bones would not emit any foul odors in hot weather. After the tedious process of preparing the bones for display, a master of the bones would begin assembling the spinal column with a brass rod. Brass wires were used to hold the rib cage in place. Hinges and hooks were used to assemble the rest of the skeleton so that it could move the way it would have done if it was still inside its meat. A bunch of different ways to prepare, but French bones were the most sought after, and working conditions and lifestyle choices made some bones more or less desirable. British bones were the least desirable, apparently.
Sorry, Queen Elizabeth.
Apparently, they were stained yellow, no matter how many chemicals they used, and they were stunted. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know.
It's all that tea you're drinking.
Caffeine, probably.
Yeah, it has an effect on the bones.
Oh, yeah.
We solved it.
We solved it. Give us our Emmy.
Ripley.
Yeah.
Believe it.
Believe it, baby.
Or not.
There were different classes of bones, too. So in 1800s, first class full skeleton could cost you about $800 at the time, which was thousands of dollars.
Hundreds of thousands
These days. A skeleton that was not full or full of many different people's bones were $150. Still expensive.
Yeah.
Now, there were different people who had the job of preparing a skeleton. There was one man in America. He was one of the only people around the late 1800s to be able to prepare skeletons, and he studied it in Paris. So he knew exactly what to do. He knew how to drain all that oil out of the bones.
Drain it.
He prepared, during his time of work, 500 skeletons in his little workshop for hospitals, artists, universities, you name it.
Love him.
The other guy, this story I love, his name is M.D. Robert. I found a newspaper clipping from the Placer Herald from March of 1892, and it says, "Trades in Skeletons, an old Frenchman's gruesome business. His bedroom decorated with bones."
Love him already.
He has handled over thousands of skeletons during his career. To deal in the bones of human beings would be an occupation repugnant to most men. Yet in the vicinity of 6th and South Street lives an old Frenchman who finds more pleasure in this occupation than anything else in his life. His store is a den of skeletons. The weather-beaten sign swinging over the door, creaking dismally with every gust of wind, bears the simple legend, M.D. Robert, Perfumery, from which it is evident Monsieur would have the world believe that he deals almost exclusively in those perfumed waters so dear to the feminine heart. Every family has a skeleton in the closet, and Monsieur's family, which consists only of himself, is no exception to the general rule. He has his skeleton. In fact, he has scores of them, in closets and otherwise. The truth of the matter is, the old Frenchman deals in skeletons. Okay, so basically, this man was in the skeleton business. He had skeletons flown to him to prepare, and he did it above his perfume shop. as kind of like a decoy. Okay, and then he says in this article, of course I have a stock of them in my bedroom, but I would not part with any of these. I have come to look upon them as dear friends and companions. Here you see my artificial skeletons made of paper mache, with artificial teeth, and the whole covered with a white polish, which gives the appearance of the genuine article. I can make 3 of these each week, and they bring from $10 to $15, while the imported genuine article costs from $30 to $35 and the domestic $20. But the imitations are bought by secret societies. Yes, I have grown old in the business and love it. I have articulated and handled over 5,000 skeletons in my time. So this little Frenchman, I would die to see his apartment. It's just decorated with skulls and bones.
Well, honey, you'd have to die to be able to see his apartment.
I know, and probably not happy about where I ended up.
Let's see your bones.
Today, most places do not use real skeletons anymore, thank God. Unless inherited or bought, it's still fucked up. Like, who knows? You don't know whose skeleton
I would
that
not
is.
want some random's bones in my house.
There are many companies still manufacturing replicas, though. One company I saw, I think it was like a Vice documentary on, they were called Bone Clones. And from their website, Bone Clones Incorporated is the premier osteological replication company specializing in precise casts of modern human skeletons. So they make real one-to-one replicas of real
Oh, I want that.
skeletons. In the documentary, there was an anthropologist being interviewed who worked for Bone Clones, and they were like, these are absolutely handled with the most care and as ethical as possible because these are a replica of someone's bones. So, I don't know. Knowing that like most of these bones were stolen and then sold,
It's crazy. It's like,
makes you think twice.
well, I feel like everything we talk about makes us think twice. Like learning the history of the bones and before this, the teeth and just bodies and cadavers in general dating back to fucking BC times is just so wild and so like, oh, wait a second. Like people want to talk about TV shows being controversial. Honey, let's look at
history.
the history of bones and teeth, baby.
The skeleton trade.
Oh my God, I love it. Brava, brava.
What do you got for me, little boner?
Well, we're going to take a little break and then I'll tell you, you bonehead. We'll be right back. And we're back. All right, girly. Geoffs, I had a friend pose a really interesting question the other day. Since doing these shows, we've gotten a lot of questions from friends, but they asked what happens when somebody dies when they're in the middle of filming a movie or a television show? Like, how do they go on? What happens? So I wanted to get to the bottom of it.
That is so interesting.
Right? Honestly, there wasn't one, like, I was hoping I would just find an article that explained it all, but I think it's kind of a case-by-case situation. Like, no one's really tackled.
There's no like black and white protocol.
Yeah, like, no one's really tackled this topic. So we're the first.
Wow.
No, but I ended up finding a variety of answers from different online forums and some other articles that briefly mention things. But again, it really seems like it depends on what era we're talking about, because nowadays with CGI advancements, if an actor dies while filming a movie and there are still scenes that need to be completed, they'll sometimes use like a stand-in actor, and then later they'll use CGI to replace their face with the deceased actor's face.
Got it.
A lot of it depends too on the scenes that still need to be completed, because they also shoot things completely out of sequence when they're filming movies. So sometimes they'll just use a lookalike or like someone of the same stature if the shots aren't really focused in on the actor's face, or if they have like their back to the camera for some of it. And sometimes scenes will be completely rewritten so that they can shoot the scene in a way that doesn't highlight that particular actor.
I'm like racking my brain about people who've died during.
Oh, well, we're going to get to them, but I don't want to get too off track, but it's always wild to me when they replace an actor on a TV show and don't give any sort of explanation for it.
Oh my God, yes.
The biggest example that pops into my head is Bewitched with Darren, Samantha's husband, who was originally played by Dick York, and he was replaced by Dick Sargent during the show's 6th season. And I remember that was the first show that I was like, wait a second, something's different here. Because I grew up, and I think you did the same on a lot of like the classic shows. Like I
Yes.
grew up watching I Love Lucy
Right.
and Dick Van Dyke and all those shows. And I recently did a rewatch of Bewitched during quarantine at some point, and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot they just switched him out like that,
Yeah.
and they never acknowledged it. I pulled some examples that were given in the comments section of a Quora thing when somebody asked this question, like what happens when somebody dies mid-filming of a movie. And the first answer that was given is an example of when the use of CGI has been implemented. Quote, Oliver Reed was halfway through filming Gladiator in 2000 when his heart gave out after another one of his infamous drinking binges, this says. His character, Proximo, wasn't replaced, but his remaining scenes totaled only 2 minutes. And so they were done completely digitally with one of the earliest forms of CGI, which would be interesting to go back and like watch it now.
I know.
His final scenes were also shot at night with the substitute actor's face obscured by the dark and the bars of a gate in the scene. So like they found a way to kind of hide this body double, and they also used a 3-dimensional mask of Oliver Reed's face mapped over the substitute actors. It cost the studios $3.2 million, but since they were insured, the costs were all covered for, because there's different insurances for movies that if something happens to one of the actors, that there's funds available to complete it. The movie did very well, both commercially and critically, sweeping 5 Oscars at the 2001 Academy Awards, so the $3.2 million paid itself off.
Wow.
The same user who wrote that, their name is Melia Jansen. They wrote about River Phoenix, who was filming Dark Blood in 2012 when he died of a drug overdose outside of the Viper Room in Los Angeles.
Wait, 2012? I thought he died.
Well, listen, only 80% of all of the scenes were finished when River Phoenix died, and they were only 11 days away from the scheduled completion date of the filming. River Phoenix was the leading protagonist, so he was in most of the scenes, and the director, George Sluicer, couldn't think of a way to complete filming, so they abandoned the film project.
For how many years?
Well, he died in 1993, and the film went out in 2012.
Oh, wow.
Throughout the years, like, he could not stop thinking about this movie, and with the help of some of his associates, he was able to get the movie, bring it to New York, and have all the footage shipped to the Netherlands, where he managed to gather enough money to actually finish putting together the film. So River Phoenix is still the star of this movie. They just had to compile the footage to complete it.
Wow.
That person also gave an example of rewrites, like I was saying, where sometimes they'll rewrite scenes. Heath Ledger, rest in peace, just the best, had almost finished filming his part in the Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus in 2009 when he died of an accidental overdose of a lethal combination of prescription drugs. They shut down filming for a few months for mourning purposes and also to give the director time to figure out how they were going to complete the movie without its main actor. So friends of his were sought to replace him. Johnny Depp, Colin Farrell, and Jude Law all filled in scenes with the film's fantasy premise explaining how a man changes his appearance as he travels between imaginary worlds.
Oh, wow.
So they like kind of wrote it in like, okay, this can happen to the character.
Oh.
The movie garnered a lot of publicity for this, and also for how the 3 actors refused to accept any pay for their work. Oh, this makes me emotional. Accept any pay for the work in this movie, but instead donated it into a fund for the future of Heath Ledger's daughter, Matilda.
I have chills.
Isn't that sweet?
That's really sweet.
The movie was nominated for a slew of awards, mostly for the arts department, and did modestly well at the box office, recovering most of its budget. There was also an old Hollywood example. Jean Harlow is one of those legends whom you just know by her name alone. And although she lived a short life, she made 43 movies before she died at the age of 26. Her last movie was one she co-starred with Clark Gable called Saratoga in 1937. And the movie was 90% completed when Jean Harlow collapsed on set and died about a week later. Her remaining scenes were shot with a body double, Mary Dees, and it was filmed only from behind with Paula Winslow standing in for her voice. I linked that thread in the show notes that has some more examples, but I want to move on now and talk about how different television shows and movies dealt with an actor dying while filming.
Oh, okay.
So I pulled together a little list using articles from Insider.com, Grunge.com, Reddit, and BuzzFeed. read. This one I knew about. Did you know Chris Farley was originally supposed to be the voice of Shrek? He died on December 18th of 1997 of an overdose of cocaine and morphine and was found dead on the floor of his apartment in Chicago at the age of 33. I didn't realize how young he was.
Yeah. God, I love him.
So funny. At the time, he had already started recording the dialogue for Shrek, so they were already working on it.
I didn't realize how old Shrek was.
Well, I feel like Shrek came out in like 2000 or something, or like
Yeah.
around
And
then.
there's been so many of them.
But also, like, it takes a couple years. Well,
Yeah.
especially back in the day, it took even longer, like years to complete a movie sometimes. Like, remember Avatar or whatever? Didn't that take like 10 years or something?
God, I don't know.
Whatever.
It's crazy.
Crazy. He had actually already started recording dialogue and everything, but after he died, DreamWorks decided to recast him with Mike Myers, who I can't imagine Shrek being anyone
I
other
know.
than Mike Myers.
I know.
And I guess it completely changed the whole character, which I found interesting because Shrek's character was supposed to be more like Chris Farley. Like, it was kind of made after him, like kind of humble, bumbling, innocent guy. That's what Chris Farley's brother, Kevin Farley, said. Once Mike Myers took over, they completely redid
It's
it.
cool to see people recording their voices for characters and just like how they come
Take it
to
on.
life.
Yeah. After Corey Monteith was found dead of an overdose in 2013, Glee decided that his character, Finn Hudson, would die on the next season. I never watched Glee, full transparency, but I guess his cause of death was never revealed. An episode of the show called The Quarterback centered around his death and how each character coped with it, especially Rachel, who was played by Leah Michele. Who knows? Maybe she's listening. She's not reading it.
Oh, fuck.
The
It's
actor.
like the only Ryan Murphy thing we haven't watched.
I know, the actress who was dating Corey in real life at the time, which is so sad.
Yes.
Devastating. And it was probably, I imagine, really hard for the actors. Imagine having to film that.
Oh my God, it's just reliving the trauma and
Ugh.
grief.
Sad. This one I totally remembered. So John Ritter,
Uh-huh.
he died at the age of 54 in 2003 of an aortic
Uh-huh.
dissection. And he was starring on the show at the time called 8 Simple Rules for Dating My Teenage
Yes.
Daughter. They had to figure out, like, how are we going to handle his death on this show? And his character on the show, Paul Hennessy, left to get milk and then died of a heart attack.
Oh.
And in the episodes that followed, his family coped with their loss. So sometimes they'll just write it in and, like, again, I mean,
Yeah.
just kind of act
Right.
how it would really happen. In 2000, Nancy Marchand, who played Olivia in The Sopranos, died at 71 from lung cancer. The show ended up bringing her character back later on through the use of CGI.
Uh-huh.
And then eventually she did die on the show. James Dean, rest in peace. We know. He died on September 30th of 1955 in Southern California at the age of 24. Heartbreaking. He's such a babe. He had recently finished filming for the upcoming film Giant. However, he didn't actually finish because his scenes on the camera were all done, but one of them they couldn't hear. It was like inaudible. And so he had to come back for looping, which they do in like post-production where they like dub over certain scenes to get it to match. Since he couldn't do this, George Stevens and William Hornbeck, the film editor, recruited Dean's former roommate and best friend, a young actor named Nick Adams, to complete the vocal role of Jet Rank. That's James's character in Giant.
Wow.
Paul Walker, another tragedy, who died very much in the same vein of James Dean. He was driving in a Porsche with his friend during a break while they were filming, and the friend lost control of the car, killing them both in the crash. His daughter actually sued Porsche, claiming the car maker's safety cage wasn't strong enough, and Porsche argued that Paul Walker had made modifications to his car that undermined its safety, and they actually won in court. His death put Furious 7 in jeopardy, but when a film franchise makes that much money, people always find a way. As noted by the Washington Post, the filmmakers used a mix of body doubles, including Paul Walker's actual brothers, and CGI to complete the film, adding in a touching final scene between Walker and fellow star Vin Diesel as the two race one final time. The scene almost explicitly acknowledges that Walker has died, although officially his character simply retired from his adrenaline-soaked life. Last but not least, multi-talented, beautiful, hardworking R&B star Aaliyah was on the cusp of acting superstardom in 2001. She had done Romeo Must Die and Queen of the Damned. She landed a role in The Matrix Reloaded, which was like a super fucking big deal. Her team had been flying to the Bahamas to shoot a music video. They chartered a plane to take them back to Florida. I guess the pilot warned them that they were loading too much equipment and too many people onto the plane, but her team was like, whatever, we're bringing it, and insisted that the flight take off, and then it crashed moments after, killing everyone on board. And that's one of the first celebrity deaths I think that I remember. They had only shot a few portions of the film for Matrix Reloaded with Aaliyah in them, but they had done a ton of pre-production work with her, and the film had already been delayed several times before this, and now it was delayed again because they had to replace her. So they eventually cast Nona Gaye, the daughter of Marvin Gaye, to take over the role of Z in the film. And there's plenty of more examples of deaths while filming. If you're interested, I did an episode of Cult Leader with our friend, an actress, Tina Majorino, on Hollywood disasters, where she had some personal stories that she shared that blew my mind as well. So really crazy. Yeah. I mean, it was something to think about that I'd never really taken a look at.
Yeah. No, so interesting.
There it is.
So interesting. I mean, art mimics life. And life mimics art.
Ooh.
Right?
Yes. Baby.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Well, should we get into some obituaries?
We shall. What you got?
All right. So I have an obituary sent from a Geoff named Randy. They said, "Hey, Spencer and Madison, I was scrolling through Facebook and stumbled upon this obituary for a local man. It definitely needs to be shared on your podcast. P.S. Y'all are the best. You keep me entertained and laughing on my hour commute to my job. It gives me some comedic relief after working a 12-hour shift in an ER. Oh my gosh.
Jeez.
This obituary is for Thomas Curtis Smith. Weary of reading obituaries, noting someone's courageous battle with death, Tom wanted it known that he died as a result of being stubborn, refusing to follow doctor's orders, and raising hell for more than 7 decades. Which I feel like is a line we've heard before, but this was from September 15th, 2012. Tom loved life to the fullest, literally 23 and a half hours a day. He slept the other 30 minutes. The birth and death of this great man, however, is not nearly as relevant as all the days and nights that he lived to the fullest between those two dates. His parents were trying for the perfect child, which is why they had 11. And little beady-eyed Smith, Thomas Curtis, was it. Coming into this family and world on Thursday, September 6, 1951, Tom was an amazing basketball player. The man, the myth, the legend. Men wanted to be him and women wanted to be him. He holds records at the Woodland School in Luttsville, Missouri. Big Smith went off to Germany and served in the United States Army for 5 years and the reserves for many years after that. Tom loved to fish and hunt. Funny thing is, the only thing he ever hunted was good deals at sales. He was always on the hunt for a good deal for someone. His generosity was so obvious in the way he lived. He got married when he was 18, but it didn't last. Tom was no quitter, however, so he gave it a shot 2 more times. It didn't work out with those wives, but he managed to stay friends with them and their families and parents. And then he met Carol. The longest anything Tom ever did was Carol. Tom's one and only son died almost 2 years ago, which left him heartbroken. There are 3 girls and 1 bonus son still kicking to carry on his legacy. He loved and adored his children and grandchildren. Tombo was an amazing dog owner. His right-hand man, Bandit, was Tom's reason for getting up and moving for the past many years. Instead of flowers at the funeral, plant a garden, take you and your family out to a movie, a baseball game, or a nice meal at a locally owned restaurant, maybe Tucker's. Our dad provided lifelong memories for his children, grandchildren, friends, and family that we will cherish forever. He lived a full and happy life, and we are honored to celebrate the dash between the day he entered this world and the day he left it. We encourage you to do the same. Oh,
I love that.
I loved it.
Funny.
It was funny, perfect length.
Sweet.
Sweet.
Loved it.
Oh.
Thank you for sending that in. We love it.
Rest in peace, Thomas.
Rest in peace. All right. Well, I thought it would be fitting if I did a fictional obituary for a beloved character this week. Now, I'm a big fan of The Great Gatsby. I have 6 different versions of the book. Do you know that?
No, I did not know that.
I do. And I wanted to see if anyone had ever made an obituary for Jay Gatsby. And of course they had because, well, it's the internet. This is from everloved.com and says, James Gatz, more popularly known as Jay Gatsby, aged 32, was found murdered by George Wilson in the pool of his mansion located in West Egg, New York on October 1st of 1922. James was born in rural North Dakota on May 30th of 1890 to Henry Gatz and the rest of his poor family of farmers. He attempted to gain his education at St. Olaf College in Northfield, Minnesota, but dropped out after a few weeks due to having to work long and grueling hours as a janitor to pay tuition. James went on to acquire a job working for the millionaire sailor Dan Cody, where he would change his name to Jay Gatsby. From Dan Cody, he learned how to behave rich and be like a true gentleman, which made the poor farmer boy James Gatz disappear and gave birth to Jay Gatsby. In 1917, after Cody's death, Gatsby joined the U.S. infantry to fight in World War I, where during his time as a soldier in Louisville, Kentucky, he would meet the love of his life, Daisy Fay. Unfortunately, at the time, Daisy was an upper-class girl from a family with an abundance of old money, which describes everything Jay wasn't. That difference in wealth led to Jay not being able to marry Daisy and resulted in her marrying the other new money-owning upperclassman Tom Buchanan, which broke his heart for years to come. This inspired the ever-persistent and hard-working Gatsby to make a fortune selling prohibited alcohol in an attempt to win Daisy's love back after returning from military service. His pursuit and love for Daisy led him to inevitably take the blame for the murder of Myrtle Wilson that she committed, resulting in Myrtle's husband shooting and killing Gatsby before turning the gun on himself. Though Jay Gatsby's death was tragic, his life was one that was undoubtedly spectacular and worthy of books to be written about it. Gatsby's weekly exclusive parties were both extravagant and breathtaking in size and cost, which earned them/him a well-deserved reputation among New York residents far and wide. Although Gatsby made himself well known for being surrounded by thousands at a time and flaunting his riches, he was mostly an introvert who kept his real social circle very small, with only 1 or 2 friends who actually cared about him and no communication with his family. Jay Gatsby was the perfect embodiment of the American dream, to say the least, who still managed to stay humble. He was charming, ambitious, hardworking, loving, caring, polite, and noted to have one of those rare smiles which you may come across 4 or 5 times in life. Although he's gone, he will be deeply missed and never forgotten to be everyone's good old sport. A funeral service is scheduled at 2 p.m. this Friday in Jay's mansion at 235 Middle Neck Road in Sands Point, West Egg, New York. His burial will be at 5 p.m. in West Egg Cemetery.
Wow.
Love
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Mr. Gatsby.
Just call me Daisy. Ooh. Oh my God.
Well, we've spun in our coffins.
We've bitched our obituaries, baby.
So, okay. All right. Different energy. Let me match you. And now, it's time for some
Dumb.ass criminals.
Yeah, let's fucking do it. Yeah, let's fucking go, man. Come on, brother. Who you got for me?
I have a dumbass criminal.
Perfect.
This article is from thesun.co.uk and I could not resist reading it.
Tell me.
I was looking for something to do with the bones this week, and it kind of goes with it. Suspicious package. Man accused of shoplifting. Window fitter Steve Whitehurst, 47, showed security his member after a female manager raised the alarm.
Oh my God.
He had been buying £400 worth of stuff at Scott's Menswear with girlfriend Mandy, 46, and her 18-month grandson. But things came to a head at the till when the store manager asked about his bulge. So apparently this man, they were checking out. He walked up to the cash register with a huge bulge in his pants. So much so that the manager started arguing with him. They would not let him walk out of the store. Eventually, he had to go with security and he showed them his wiener, like pulled his pants down, like there's nothing in my pants.
He just had a huge package.
This is my 10-inch wiener boner, baby. So who's the dumb criminal? I think it's the store, not him.
Yes, and their punishment is to get fucked by that
Is to get fucked. And there are pictures of him with his pants down, baby, that I will post.
I'm like leaning over the computer.
I know.
I'm like, oh, let's see.
He's got little like shorts on, but a bulge?
Is he hot?
No, but a bulge it is.
Okay, all right, okay.
Okay.
Mine could only happen in Florida, and I wish I would have found this on the 4th of July. Residents living in a Florida town got an early 4th of July show when a neighbor yelled firework noises late into the night.
What?
There wasn't much to see, but residents could definitely hear it. The man was protesting others who set off fireworks a little too early this year, and they caught him on security footage yelling, boom, firecracker, bottle rocket into the wee hours of the morning earlier this week. Pretending to be a firework is also going to run afoul of our noise ordinance, Phil Mullen at the Cape Coral Police Department told the TV station.
Oh my
And there's a
God.
video of him just
He had
yelling.
enough.
People living on a Cape Coral canal got an early 4th of July show. It wasn't one you could see, but you could definitely hear it.
The dogs were barking and we go outside and this guy is screaming. I mean, so loud.
Sarah Warnicki came outside. This is where she could hear someone screaming from across the darkness of the canal, putting on his own show in protest of pyrotechnics.
He seemed to be upset that people were celebrating early.
The time just before 3 a.m. last Friday. So she shouted back.
Honestly, I love him.
Love it.
Do you know, especially around our house, I feel like it's 4th of July 2 months before and 2 months after.
I went to your house on 4th of July this year.
Yeah.
And it was the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life.
I know. It's like,
A war zone.
it is crazy and it pisses me off. I want everybody to have fun, but I hate how much it affects the dogs
Well, yeah.
and animals
And veterans.
and veterans.
For
Yes.
people with PTSD. Very scary.
You know what? I don't think this guy's a criminal at all.
Yeah. I think he's a smart-ass criminal.
I like him.
We know we keep saying this. We really will get to our P.O. Box stuff next week.
Guys, it's my fault. I was so sick this last week and I couldn't make it to the P.O. box. And the stuff that we did have, I left at my house.
It happens. We all get brain fog. We get brain frogs.
We get brain frogs too. So
But
bear with us.
we're going to be fully together next week.
Yes.
Fully back and better than ever than you've ever seen it before. Until then, if you want to write to us, you can send us mail and packages and threats to P.O. Box 18149, Long Beach, California 90807.
Follow along on Instagram and Twitter at Obituary Pod and TikTok at Obituary Podcast.
You can write to us, obitpod@gmail.com.
And leave us a review for the love of God.
Oh, yeah.
5 stars across the board.
we love the show, baby. And that's it for this week. We'll see you next time for some more coffin spinners
Obituaries
and dumb
as
criminals. Goodbye.
Goodbye.